opportunity to be able to speak with you and to explain some of the things that are going on. Matthew Gerson, definitely want to thank you for coming and taking notes. I'm definitely appreciative of that, and I'm appreciative to Representative Delgado for opening up the doors for all of these things to happen. Francesca Amato just made a statement that seems to be very harsh. It seems that when you say something like a judge or an attorney could be working in a fraudulent manner, it would seem that that may not be true. Well, I come here today as one of we, the people. If you look at every preamble to every constitution in every state, is going to speak of we, the people. Another thing you're going to find is that we, the people, hold all political power. Not some, not a little bit, not what we're given, but the actual bills of rights and declarations of rights say that the power is inherent in the people. And so in order for us to be able to write a constitution and to be able to create seats and offices for judges and executive branch members and legislative members to sit in order to do that, we must have first had the power to get it. And so when we deal with courts and judges and attorneys who laugh when you talk about the Constitution, something should click in your mind and let you know that this is wrong. Because if there is no such thing of a Constitution, then there is no such thing of a government seat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some words from our forefathers around the world so that we can, the nation, so that we can hear what it is that our forefathers left us when they created our states and our nation. And so we'll start off with Arizona Declaration of Rights, because that's where I'm from. Our forefathers left this in the Declaration of Rights. A frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual rights and the perpetuity of free government. It's not saying so that the government could be free. It's saying if you want to have individual rights and you want to be a free people, you must always go back to fundamental principles. And so that's what I want to do today. I want to look at some of the fundamental principles that our forefathers left so that we would not have the problem that we are having today. The second one is political power. Many times people will say, I'm asking the government to give us our rights back. I'm asking the government to help us. But in the Declaration of Rights of Arizona, we'll see where Section 2 says, all political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, and are established to protect and maintain individual rights. So, the reason this is important is because everything that we have heard today is simply a situation where officials who we might call government are taking powers that we can't find anywhere in any constitution of the country. So if the people give the duties to the government to protect our rights, that means that it is a trust. The Constitution is simply a trust indenture. And what we're doing is we're granting power into government officials to take care of our property and our rights, and that's it. So if we grant power to a group or a body to make them trustees to protect our rights and property, can they then work in a case to take our property from us? Is a trust, it's a breach of trust. Now, some people might say, well, you're saying that this is a trust relationship. When we look at the Constitution, there's no way that could be true. They're government officials, they have power, you guys have power over the people. Let's look at Georgia Constitution 1877 as ratified without subsequent amendments. And it's going to tell us something that may shock all of us. It says, all government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will only. Government was not put here to impose a will over the people. It was created for the Now, for some reason, there has been a lack of education in schools where this is taught. So many of us, even in this room, might not know that the Bills of Rights say that the power comes from the people and it's not the other way around. But what we must notice is this. It says it's founded upon their will only, meaning the people's wills only, and it's instituted solely, meaning only for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees. Public officers are the trustees and servants of the people. And at all times, not just in session, at all times amendable to them. So what that means is that the people can change the government whenever they want to, because the trust powers that you were granted as government officials came from the people. And there should never be a time in America where the people have to come beg for officials to give us the rights that we declared in the Bills of Rights and the Declaration of Rights.
True.
The Bills of Rights and the Declarations of Rights are simply the trust indenture which gives you power to do anything that you do. But if you take powers, it is no longer just powers, it is stolen powers, and you act in the private. Anything you do outside the trust indenture is private, and people who have been given power are responsible. So when Francesca says these judges are not government officials, these lawyers aren't government officials, nobody in any trust indenture anywhere in this nation gave anybody the power to take a child from anybody at any time, ever, arbitrarily. The states are allowed to accept kids into care. As for this law that we have discussed, CAPTA, the law that we discussed, and the Social Security Act, the public law that we discussed, never gave anyone authority to ever take a child from anybody at any given time against their will. And I'm going to read it to you so you can see it. This is where we know that something is wrong. Because if the average man or woman does something outside of trust, they can go to prison. But when someone who calls himself a judge or a legislative member writes statutes and codes and laws that go against the very Constitution and the people who gave the power, it is a breach of trust. And so what I want to do is read a couple of things to end this off, because for some reason we've been told that there is an ability for a social worker to take a kid, and it's in the law. We've been told that they have the ability to adopt out kids by force, and it's in the law. What I want to say is that it is not in the law. And as a matter of fact, we have been tricked because Title 42 of the United States Code is not law. Title 42 of the United States Code has never been passed into Congress. It is a non-positive law. It is an editorial compilation of what is law called the public law. And I'm going to read from the 3 public laws so we can hear what jurisdiction our government officials have and what the real law is. And I'm going to read from Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female Supreme Court Justice in America. In the case Troxel versus Granville in 2000, I'm going to read from what one attorney showed. It says the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on the issue of grandparent visitation rights. Now, we're talking about grandparent visitation. We're not talking about a caseworker. We're not talking about a judge in the Superior Court. We're not talking about a representative of the state. We're talking about somebody who has blood familial relationship with a child. And this is what the Supreme Court said, and it is not shown in the public by attorneys. It says, which involved a dispute a Washington State mother and her ex-boyfriend, between Washington State mother and her ex-boyfriend's parents. When Brad Troxel, the children's father, died in 1993, his parents informed the mother, Tommy Granville, that they wanted to maintain a relationship with the couple's 2 daughters. Washington law, now pay attention that this says Washington law, but the court is going to correct that language. The court is not going to just say that it's a law. The court is going to explain exactly what it is and what it has to stand under. So it says that the court, the Washington law at the time, allowed any person to petition for visitation at any time, and gave state Court discretion to grant that visitation when it was in the child's best interest. Number one, you will never find best interest of a child in any law anywhere in the world. It does not exist. It's not a standard. It is not, law is specific. There is no such thing of a best interest of the child. It is arbitrary. It is something that is made up to make a determination that you can't make because you're not a psychologist or a social worker, right? But this is what the court found. It said, but the majority of the Choctaw court struck down the state statute as unconstitutional. Not every statute that is made is constitutional, but if nobody challenges it, it stands. So we have courts that know that it was unconstitutional. Judges that know that it was unconstitutional, but they took jurisdiction anyway when they didn't have it, just to be able to make money off of these cases because they make money off the actual case. This is not about them being paid by taxes as government workers. They get paid by government taxes at one time, and then at another time they're getting paid money in special cases that are not really Article 3 courts. These are private entities that can be closed at times, with which every Declaration of Rights and Bill of Rights in the country say you cannot do. But to continue, finding it interfered with the parents' rights to raise the children as they please. So the Supreme Court already came out and told that the people have a right to raise their children as they please, and nobody can make a statute, no legislature can make a statute that says that somebody can come in arbitrarily and take your children from you. But this is what's happening. So we have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of parents in America crying, broken, many committing suicide, because they believe that somebody had the power to take their kids, and they did not know that their own Bill of Rights and Declaration of Rights says that children are a liberty interest and you cannot take them without due process of law. That means a jury of your peers. So we have a system that is not constitutional, that the Supreme Court has already said is not constitutional, and bar members are not coming out and telling the people and giving full disclosure that they are running a private court. And so we're facing a situation where we are in dire straits, and we have people asking for permission to have their children when children are liberty interests and nobody can take them. It is unconstitutional. Now, to continue, writing for the majority, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor said, the liberty interest at issue in this case, the interest of parents in the care, custody, and control of their children, is perhaps the oldest of the fundamental liberty interests recognized by this court. The Supreme Court realizes the familial relationship between a mother and father and their child as the oldest liberty interest recognized by the entire Supreme Court. But we have people taking our children. Now, to end, what I want to do is look at the 3 laws that are so-called used to give these people power to take children. And this is what they're using. Because the people in America today believe that this organization has the right and the duty to take your kids from you if they have some concern. So they are using Title 42 to say we have the right to give your kids services. Title 42 has never been passed in positive law. So they're not giving you the public law, which is the real law. They're giving you an editorial compilation that's giving them the ability to hold cases that they do not have the right or the authority from the people to hold. And here's the laws. ASPA, one of the worst, 1997, worked on by Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. Parents around the country are quoting the Title 42 and saying that ASPA is the worst thing in the world because it gave mothers and fathers, social workers, the ability to steal kids from parents. This is what they honestly believe. Let's look at what the truth says, the actual law. ASPA Section 401, Preservation of Reasonable Parenting. Nothing in this act is intended to disrupt the family unnecessarily or to intrude inappropriately into family life. Why is it inappropriate to intrude into family life? Because it's a liberty interest that the people have that they never gave anybody the power to disrupt. To prohibit the use of reasonable methods of parental discipline, we have people who say if you use spanking as a discipline, if you correct your children, if you go to church too much, that you shouldn't have your child. If you got 4 dishes in the sink, you shouldn't have your child. To prohibit the use of reasonable methods of parental discipline or to prescribe a particular method of parenting. One social worker can't come and tell you that you can't have your kids because you go to church too much, because you make them work out and you don't let them just sit and play video games. You cannot do that. That power was not given. And it is in the very law that they say they're using to take the kids that gives them authority. It says you can't. Here's another. Social Security Act, 1935. We're going to look at the original legislative intent. Title 11, definition section 1101, 6D. Nothing in this act. See, in the original, it was always told that nothing in these acts gave anybody the power to take people's kids. Why is this one hidden and Title 42 always shown? Why is 45 CFR always shown? Why not show what the Congress really gave? Congress gave out a law and told people don't run over parents' rights. Now, attorneys who are working with these entities that are private and making money off of all these cases and hiring judges who become private to make money off of all these cases are hiding the law that you all made, hiding the law that actually tells that you can't take children from people, and using something else to take people's kids, which is kidnapping. It says nothing in this act shall be construed as authorizing any federal official. And I want us to know that CPS is an agent of the federal because they're contracting with AJS, which is federal, in order to get the money. It says any federal official, agent, or representative in carrying out any of the provisions of this act to take charge of any child over the objection of either of the parents of such child or the person standing in local parentage to such child. This means that you cannot take a kid from anybody who doesn't want you to. Now, they've been bringing guns, they've been bringing untrained police to come with them to take kids when the law says you cannot take kids. So we're putting everybody on notice. We're going to send out affidavits to every congressional member to let them know what is happening. We are going to send out affidavits to William Barr. We're going to send out affidavits to Donald Trump. We're going to send out affidavits to everyone and let them know what the real law says and let them know that the people in the states aren't following. And then for the people in the states and the so-called judges who are working in the private attorneys, we're going to write affidavits of treason to let them know that the real law said you can't take kids. You are now on notice that you can't take kids. And if you want to continue to take kids, we will happily give you affidavits of treason to let it be known that you are breaking the law. We come humbly in the name of Christ, letting you know what the truth is, and we are asking for something to be changed and for people to stop. We're not asking it to be fixed, just stop. Because you're hurting too many families and people are committing suicide. The one last law, called CAPTA, which everybody has been scared of since 1974. Public Law 86-724, it was a 74 Stat 849. It starts off in Section 2A by saying, notwithstanding any other provision of law. That means if any other part of the law says that you can't do it, nothing in here has standing. So before we start reading these laws, we need to make sure we realize if it has standing when there's another law beforehand that says that you can't do what you're doing. But in this law, it says, in a new attempt as defined under Section 8901(3) of Title 5, United States Code, who is participating or who is eligible to participate in the health benefits program, not law, program under Retired Federal Employees Health Benefits Act. So the limitations of this CAPTA was to be for federal employees. I have a hard time understanding why attorneys read the law every day and they don't tell anybody that this program was for retired federal employees and their children to have benefits. It's an insurance program. So why are you taking kids from people who are not inside of your insurance program, who are not federal employees? Surely not because they have a federal ID number called a Social Security number. If you're not working and getting paid a check by the federal government, why are they using authority over you? So, as I end, I want to read from Declaration of Rights, Due Process of Law, in Section 4 of Due Process of Law, which is Due Process of Law in Arizona. It says, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Lord Cope would have told you that due process of laws was called a jury of your peers, and it's by the common law. You look at Article 7 of the Bill of Rights and some of these statutes out here, it'll mention common law twice. Common law is the law of the land. any private law or any contracts that's being exerted on the people or being forced on the people is not allowed in the common law. So if you want to take the life of a man or woman, you want to take their kid, which is a liberty interest, you want to take their property, which has happened all too much. If you want to take any of that, you have to have a jury of your peers. The people didn't give the government the right to take power, take people, take their money, take their property, because that would be a conflict of interest. You can't be someone who's a trustee for me and have the duty to take care of my property and my rights, and then fight against my property and my rights and taken. And so I want to thank you all for listening to us. We will have affidavits going out to every single representative. Let it be known what is happening. We actually have thousands of people who are in the states who will write affidavits as well. Let it be known what is happening. We know that it is not the fault of Congress, because you guys actually wrote real laws that protected us and said do not take children against their parents' wishes. But for some reason, somebody has not passed a memo to the police officers and to the states who are taking kids for money now. So I thank you guys for having us. I thank you for coming and taking notes. I thank you guys for listening intently. And I thank you for being here for the people. I pray that we can work together to make resolutions by stopping those things that are wrong and not trying to change those things or saying that it costs too much money. Surely the children of America don't cost, there's no price that can be put on their head and cost to stop the stealing and the kidnapping of children. And if we might ever think that this is not happening, we can just look at Italy. Recently has come out and arrested judges, attorneys, guardian ad litems for a scheme to take children from parents and to lie as if they were abused. We can also look at California. Just recently, judges and attorneys and guardian ad litems are being watched by the FBI right now for a scheme that they're taking children. If we look at ex-CIA, Robert David Steele, he came out and said that there is a scheme going against elderly and children where they are taking kids without due process and by fraud. And they said that the players were going to be arrested. We're seeing a lot of arrests now. And one thing that I want to remind all government officials and the people of is that anytime you hear felonies and you don't do something about the felony, the law says you're part of the felony. So the people are aware of what's happening around the country. Hundreds of thousands of parents have come out to all of us and told us the different things that are happening. They're writing affidavits. They send affidavits to Trump's trafficking council head chair. So the truth is out there, and the people are standing up, and we're asking those people who are righteous in their positions to do the right thing and to bring